Imagine living in a world where stealing a loaf of bread could cost you a hand, where speaking against the wrong person might end with you locked inside an iron cage, hanging for everyone to see. The medieval era weren't just an era of castles and knights. They were also a time of terrifying punishments designed to spread fear. Some were so cruel that even modern historians struggle to believe they were real. Today, we're uncovering the world's most brutal medieval punishments, separating historical fact from legend, and revealing why these horrifying methods existed in the first place. Trust me, you'll never look at medieval history the same way again. Segment 1. Why medieval punishments were so harsh. To understand these punishments, we first need to understand medieval society. There were no police departments like we have today, no surveillance cameras, no forensic science. Instead, rulers relied on one powerful tool: fear. Punishments weren't only meant to hurt criminals, they were public performances. Executions often took place in crowded town squares where families, including children, watched. Authorities believed that if people witnessed enough suffering, they would think twice before breaking the law. Justice was designed to be unforgettable, and unfortunately, it often was. Fun fact: some medieval towns legally required citizens to attend public executions. Missing one could even result in a fine. Segment 2. The Iron Maiden. Perhaps no device is more famous than the Iron Maiden. Picture a tall iron cabinet shaped like a human body. Inside, rows of sharp spikes. The victim was locked inside, while the spikes pierced the body without immediately hitting vital organs. The idea was to keep the victim alive while causing unimaginable pain. But here's something fascinating. Many historians believe the Iron Maiden became popular centuries later, and that most surviving examples were actually created in the 1700s and 1800s to shock museum visitors. That doesn't mean medieval punishments were gentle, far from it, but history and myth often became tangled together. Sometimes, reality was horrifying enough. Segment 3. Drawing and quartering. Reserved for those accused of high treason in medieval England, drawing and quartering became one of history's most infamous executions. The condemned person was first dragged through the streets behind a horse, then publicly executed. Finally, the body was divided into 4 parts. Those remains were displayed across different cities as a warning. It wasn't simply punishment, it was psychological warfare. Kings wanted every citizen to understand exactly what happened to anyone who betrayed the crown. One famous victim was Scottish hero William Wallace in 1305. His execution became one of the most well-known examples of medieval justice. Segment 4. The breaking wheel. Imagine being tied to a giant wooden wheel. One by one, your bones were crushed using an iron bar. Afterward, your broken body was woven through the spokes and displayed in public. Victims sometimes survived for hours, even days. The punishment was intended to maximize suffering while sending a terrifying message. Thankfully, as Europe modernized, punishments like these slowly disappeared. Segment 5. The rack. Unlike many punishments that ended in death, the rack had another purpose: confession. The victim's wrists and ankles were tied to rollers. As the rollers turned, the body stretched farther and farther. Muscles tore, joints dislocated. Sometimes limbs were completely pulled from their sockets. Many confessed to crimes they never committed, simply to end the agony. It became one of history's most feared torture devices. Segment 6. Cages, pillories, and shame.
Not every punishment involved death. Sometimes humiliation was considered just as powerful. The pillory locked a person's head and hands into a wooden frame in the middle of town. People threw rotten vegetables, mud, even stones. Some victims died from the crowd's violence, others survived with permanent injuries. Another punishment involved hanging criminals inside iron cages suspended from bridges or castle walls. There they remained, sometimes until death. Their bodies became grim warnings to everyone passing below. Segment 7. Were these punishments common? Here's something many people misunderstand. Not everyone in the medieval era faced these horrifying punishments. Many disputes were settled with fines, others ended with imprisonment. The most brutal methods were usually reserved for treason, murder, rebellion, or crimes authorities wanted to make an example of. Movies often exaggerate medieval cruelty, but history itself remains shocking enough without adding fiction. Conclusion. The medieval era reminds us how dramatically justice has evolved. What once seemed acceptable is now recognized as cruelty. These punishments weren't just about crime. They reflected a world ruled by fear, power, and public spectacle. Studying them isn't about celebrating violence. It's about understanding how societies change and why protecting justice and human rights matter today. If you enjoyed uncovering the darker side of history, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to World History Vault, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next deep dive into the forgotten stories that shaped our world. And here's a question for you. Which medieval punishment shocked you the most, and why? Leave your answer in the comments below. Until next time, keep exploring history, because the past still has many secrets waiting to be uncovered.